What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American living in Accra, Ghana. I'm in LA right now, and I do have a special guest. She'll be joining us shortly. But if you want to know why an African American would be building a house in Ghana, then this is the video for you. All right, guys, so we are live. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And we're also live with our special guest who's joining us right now.
Hey.
Boom. There is Leslie Jones.
Hey, y'all.
So Leslie's joining us. We're going to talk to her about her experience buying a house, building a house in Ghana, and so much more. But before we get into that, I do have some housekeeping. So first of all, if you're watching on LinkedIn. If you're watching on Instagram, usually I would tell you to come over to YouTube Live to watch our guest live, but she's here in person.
I'm here.
You can stay on Instagram and watch there live. But I am going to be directing most of my conversation here because that's where most of the comments are coming in on YouTube. But if you guys have comments and questions on Instagram, feel free to do it. So a couple people are saying hello. So Latonya says hello from North Carolina.
Hey, North Carolina in the house.
Browncoat Blue says, what? In-person interview? Awesome. Yes. Spontaneous. This was decided this weekend.
Yes.
Over the weekend. So yeah, we have an in-person interview. It's been a while since I've done one. As you guys know, I usually do it with Masa and Kyereme-we, but today we got Leslie. All right, cool. So a little bit of housekeeping for those of you who are all new to the channel. My channel is all about moving to Ghana, my experience living in Ghana and building a house in Sierra Leone. I got my dual citizenship back in 2018.
Super
yeah,
I'm jealous about that one.
It's a flex for sure. I have my green passport, and also started a business, and I have a nonprofit in Sierra Leone. So I talk about all of that on my channel, my day-to-day experiences. I go live every week on Monday, as you guys are seeing here. Every week Monday. I've only missed 2 in the last 6 weeks.
Wow.
And I like to have people come on. The last 4 or 5 weeks. I had different people come on, tell their story or their businesses. And so we are doing the same today because, I think what Leslie's doing is really interesting and we want to talk about it. Really quickly, Freddie B says, what's up? He's going to Ghana soon. So he's going to need some. I hope you got my the links to everything, Freddie. Let me know if you got my links, if you got any other questions. I sent him some stuff about what to do in Ghana. All right, cool. All right, so let's get right into it. I got to find my questions first, though. I'm not that prepared. Yes, I am. They're right here. All right, cool. So, so first and foremost, I did want to ask you. Well, first, actually, since we're streaming on your channel too, and for those of you who don't know, Leslie does have a YouTube channel. I am Leslie Jones, right? You started the YouTube channel
September of 2021.
Okay,
yeah.
And it was to document your process, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit about that. So you started it to document the process of buying and building.
Right.
What else are you talking about on your channel?
That's what it is.
Okay.
It's just what I'm going through when it comes to land purchasing and building.
Okay.
Because I was looking on YouTube for someone to not just talk or summarize buying land, but show us what they went through, and I could not find it. So I became the page I wanted to see.
Okay, nice.
And that's how it all started. So
yeah,
from literally viewing land, seeing if I want to buy it, to actually going through the paperwork process and still going through the paperwork process, folks. It's a whole journey.
Welcome to West Africa.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that's awesome. I mean, I eventually want to buy a house in Ghana and go through that process. So I'm going to be following what you're talking about. And we also have some folks that we've had on that help people get prepared to do that process. So they help you get the documentation, they get you a lawyer and all of that. So in case you want to talk to them, I can introduce you.
That part. So
okay.
What was, can I go ahead?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
So for some reason in my mind, I don't know why, folks, I said, people tell me, don't trust anyone in Ghana, get an attorney.
Okay.
Because I was going to go and buy property already developed, like a duplex or triplex or something.
Okay.
But one of my acquaintances told me, it's more affordable to just buy land and build. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I went to my real estate agent and told her I want land. She dropped me like a hot potato. She was like, it's too many litigation issues. And I never heard from her again. So I was like, there's no way. I just didn't believe that it was a hard thing. I think because of my Western mentality, how everything's methodical and very in order. I brought that to Ghana. And so I was like, man, I can get my indenture without an attorney. Wow. I was wrong.
Sadly mistaken.
But that's why people start watching my channel, because it was so just dramatic and everyone was in shock, because us from the West, Ghana is very appealing, but who's showing that section of the process?
Right.
And so that's how my channel developed from there.
Got it. Cool. And then what's your background? Your cultural background, your ethnicity?
Let's start from the origin.
Yes.
Right? I took the African ancestry test.
Nice.
100% Sierra Leonean from the Mende tribe.
Okay.
But I was born and raised
Shout out to the Mende tribe.
Shout out. But I was born and raised in Cali. So I'm the first one to even go back to the motherland in over 400 years.
Wow.
Going to Africa was not even on anyone's radar. Like, my brother thought of buying property in a different country, but Africa was not considered one of them.
This wasn't on my list of questions, but now we're gonna get there. So it's sort of on there. So what got you going to? Well, first of all, why did you do the African ancestry in the first place?
Because I was hoping it came back Ghanaian.
Okay.
So I can get the 99 years.
Okay.
So this is business.
Right.
So when it didn't come back as that, I was bummed. But then, as I get educated and I'm going through this process, I found out you really don't need to be like a citizen to get land. You just get the 50 years. And then I have a 25-year rental on the lease land. But it depends on who you know, because all land can be given for free if they wanted to. It just depends.
Yes, so. That is true. And I also hear you can expedite certain processes if you know the right people and you grease the right pockets.
The chop, that's what I call it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you did the African ancestry for the land part. So let's take a step back. So what made you want to buy land in Ghana? What got you to that point?
So I lived in China.
Okay.
I was out there teaching English, and I have never been so well respected, praised. It was just, it was a shock. I was mind blown. I said, wait, there's other opportunities in the world. Because in the States, we're very programmed. Like, the United States is the best place to be, it's the number one place to be. You gotta, and that's what I believed. But when I unplugged from the culture and left the country, I was like, oh no, what a ball of lies they tell us, So I was like, you know what? That opened up my mind to international investing. Okay. And I said, if I'm going to go to a country, I'm going to go to a country where I descend from, because I truly believe whatever my hands touch is going to be blessed. So let me go ahead and go somewhere where I'm from. And that's how West Africa came about. Okay. I didn't know where I was from. Okay. Took the test. Okay. Looked into Sierra Leone. That was a whole. I was discouraged from getting land in Sierra Leone. Yeah. And so that's how, when I talked to the people I did know that were from Africa, it was Debo Johnson, because I'm an actress. So I did a short film for him. Okay. And he's the only one that knew that lived on the continent. So I said, who do you know? Because I don't know anyone. I've been living for 400 years. Right. He said, his now fiance, yay. He referred me to her. And she said, when it comes to real estate, Ghana, and when it comes to the entertainment industry, Nigeria. And so I decided to go the real estate route and choose Ghana. And did research and just confirmed everything she said. Okay. And from that, judiciously, legislatively, they're just positioned. And they create incentives for us to come. And so that's why I chose Ghana out of all the West African countries. Okay. So I love my Sierra Leone. That's my home country, Mende, Creole. I lived there first. You did. What were some of the things that people told you that discouraged you from Sierra Leone? For those of you who are wondering, because I know I live in Ghana, right? I want to be in Sierra Leone, but I live in Ghana for reasons that we've talked about previously on the channel. But I'd love to hear from you. What made you decide? What did they say to you that made you decide? The Civil War. Oh, what, 14 years ago? Yes. At that time, it was 12 years ago. Yeah. And I said, huh? Yeah. What, have they recovered? Like, how is that? And so that's why judiciously, legislatively, Ghana was positioned for that. Because that's a no for me when it comes to. And I just after I heard that, and no one could really say, "Oh, we're good now." Yeah, I was like, "This is."
Yeah, I will say I do have like a crew of friends who are Americans, but they're Sierra Leonean. So their parents are both Sierra Leonean. They've been to Sierra Leone a bunch of times. So this transition for them to move back to Sierra Leone has been a lot easier, and they all work in a nonprofit world. Yeah, and then when it comes to like buying land and buying and building and all of that, I'm going through that process. But I also have a system and a team and connections there. I have people who can watch, so I totally understand and get it. But
I think that's it. When you have no connections, that's what makes things hard. And we have to, from a business standpoint, what's going to give us the best return?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But now you know somebody who's Sierra Leonean, so I can help navigate those waters.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So how long has it been since you purchased the land and started the process of building?
So this whole thing started December 2020.
Okay.
So I went to school for drafting design technology. So I designed the layout of my of the townhomes.
Nice.
And so that started December 2020. And then once I found my architectural firm in Ghana, they did the renderings. I gave them my designs. They took it to a whole just immaculate. It looks so good. Eventually, I'm going to share it with you guys. But from that point, I've been back and forth to Ghana for like 4 times now. So within 1 year, I was looking for land. Yeah. So I went to Ghana 3 times in 1 year to look for land. And
so all of 2021.
All of 2021. Yeah. I bought the first property March of 2021, and then the second property August of 2021.
Got it. So you have two pieces of land. What parts of Ghana are they in?
Central region. Okay. So Gomoa Feta is the first one, and then the second one is Salt Pond. Okay. On the beach.
How far is that from like Cape Coast?
30 minutes.
Okay.
Before you get to Cape Coast, 30 minutes. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. So I have some questions about that. So obviously you had to make a few trips to buy land. So the first trip you were there just looking, and then you bought on the second trip?
I bought on the second trip.
And then your third trip you bought a second piece of land.
Right.
Okay. So how did you decide on the central region versus Accra or the greater Accra area?
Money.
Okay.
I had very little money. So the money that I purchased both properties with, this is Uber money. I'm an Uber driver. Okay. So this is very new for me and my family. Sure. So I wasn't going to be like, give me some money. I'm going to go to Africa and see if it works out. Okay. So I said, Leslie, you're going to do this with your money. So if all else fails, no one's mad at you. Okay. You can it's a loss. Okay. Right? Yeah. So when I found out the cheapness of the first property, the affordability of the first property, I'm like, I can do it. Yeah. Bought 6 plots, it's under $1,000 per plot. I'm like, done deal. Because the project is a 3-phase project. Okay. Initially, it was the first phase was a 20-unit townhome complex. So that's why I bought 6 plots for that. Okay. That land is not working out. So I got the beachfront, and so that's just 2 plots, but there's going to be 4 semi-detached units on that land.
Nice. Okay, and so you mentioned that you went 3 times last year. How many times this year have you gone?
Once. So and I stayed there for 3 months. Okay. So I just came back last month. Okay, and so are you planning to go again? Like, what's your plan for 2023? What's this next year? 2023. Yeah. So 2023, my goodness. My plan, since the walls are built, because contractually I needed to build something within 2 years when it comes to the first property, and 4 years when it comes to the second property. Right. And I did that. So I'm not in a rush to go back because your girl don't have money to build a townhome complex now. So I'm waiting for my deed because I need to pitch to raise capital. Okay. And so that's why I'm literally just waiting. Okay. Because Ghana, it takes time. So once I get my deed, folks, you guys will see magic happen, but I can't make the magic happen until I get my deed. Got it. Okay. Because I don't want to build. You can build without the deed. I'm not building nothing without verification that you're good. No one's going to come and litigate. Like, no, I want that. Makes sense. It's other people's money. Right. Especially if you're getting investment dollars, for sure. Exactly. Okay, so for those of you who are just joining us, we're here with Leslie Jones. I'm Joe Hatagwa. If you're following on Leslie's channel, I am Leslie Jones. I am Leslie Jones, and then my channel is Authentic African. My channel is all about my move to Ghana. Leslie's been talking about her house build, and so we are cross collaborating today. And I'm interviewing Leslie. She will be interviewing me. Yes.
And that will be on her channel later. And we'll be talking about my house building project in Sierra Leone. But today we're talking about what it's like for her building this house and buying in Ghana. Okay, cool. So I'm just looking at my questions over here. So do you ever plan to move to Ghana?
I plan on moving there to oversee the building process.
Okay.
But to move and say this is where I live, that's no.
You said that with conviction.
That's a no.
Okay.
I think because I might get bashed for this, but I'm a city girl.
Okay.
I'm a city girl. I like LA. I like the convenience of Southern California.
Okay.
And I'm not happy when it's not convenient. I like the Postmates. I like it like in Accra. I can do Accra.
Okay.
Right? I can go to Postmates. But also I am plant-based.
Yep.
So it's hard to eat up in
as am I. So I get
it's hard to eat. And so I'm like, okay, this is a no for me. Yeah. But it is growing. More vegan places are growing. And
yeah, I can tell you about a couple spots too. Next time, if you're in Accra, I got some spots there. And I also have a housekeeper that makes all my food for me. So it makes it
blessed. Yes. See, levels. That's another thing that I really appreciated about Ghana because my Uber dollars stretched so far.
Yes.
I was able to stay in Airbnbs with caretakers, my laundry, get food cooked. I said, oh, this is what it is? What?
Oh yeah. It definitely stretches. The cost of living is a completely different circumstance. I mean,
I miss that.
Living in LA, I'm going to tell you guys right now, for 2 weeks in this space that I'm in is the same as 1 month in Airbnbs that I've stayed in Ghana. So I'm not going to tell you how much that is. We've talked about how much I spent on Airbnbs these last 2 years. It's been a lot, or this year in general, because my Nigeria Airbnb was really expensive too.
I get mad just buying a Chipotle burrito. Like,
there you go.
We shouldn't pay over $10 for a burrito. What?
Man, this weekend was crazy. Okay, so Browncoat Blue said we got you both going here. I guess you're watching on both.
Hey, BCB. Hey, that's my guy. He shows up on everything. I appreciate you.
Very, very supportive. Manelik says, good evening. What's up?
Manelik, hey.
We got
Japan in the house.
Japan in the house.
Do you speak Japanese?
Konnichiwa.
I speak
That's all
Mandarin.
I know. That's all I know. So Freddie B, because I was talking about the housekeeper. Anthony saying good one. I don't know what that was from. I have no idea. Greetings, Spear Warrior. It's been a while. It's been a while, Gerald. It's been a minute. I ran into him in Sierra Leone. Okay, cool. All right, so let's talk about the process for finding the land. So I think we talked a little bit about where your land is, but and that you came to look for land. But how did you find the land, and how did you determine that was what you wanted to buy?
Okay, so let's talk about the one I'm actually happy about.
Okay, it's a good idea.
That one,
let's talk about that.
That YouTube.
Okay.
I followed every Ghanaian influencer.
Okay.
And whenever they did a special on a real estate agent, a developer or anyone in real estate, I would DM them, whether email or WhatsApp. And this particular developer replied.
Okay.
And so I was supposed to see it on the second trip, scheduling. It didn't happen. But on the third trip, I made it and I saw the beachfront property. Okay. And I was able to look at it and say, okay, this is it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm telling you, YouTube is revolutionary. It is. And that's how I got to the second property.
Okay. Yeah. So Alberta says blessings, everyone.
Alberta.
Is this somebody from your? I think there's a lot of people here from your group. You got some serious support here.
I love
Jerry Campbell is checking in from NYC. Yeah. What's up, Jerry?
We're a small but mighty crew.
There it is. Okay, so finding contractors to build. Ooh, that's the other thing, right? So you find land, you go through the process of going through the legal process of building the land, but you need to securing the land, but you need someone to build on the land. So how did you find your contractors that you worked with?
So Nest Realty, I found them. So one of the referrals I got was a project manager in Ghana. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And he's the one that told me to buy land and build. Okay. Okay. And then this is a good story. Let me start with this part. Okay. When I first went to Ghana, I was upset because I'm like, the cost is almost the same in Cali. Like I might as well build in Cali because the cost of to build in Accra is
the building cost.
Yeah. I'm like, I might as well stay. So that was discouraging because I was going because of the currency exchange. So I was like, if it's going to be the same, I might as well stay in Cali. And you know, so I actually came home defeated because I was like, oh, I don't have because I'm starting with my money first to establish.
Right. Yep.
So I was discouraged, and then I saw on YouTube prefabricated housing.
Okay.
I said, what? This is the solution, you know? And so when I saw the YouTubes about prefabricated housing, I got inspired, and that's when I started designing. I was like, I can do this. I just went crazy for like months.
Yep.
And so when I needed someone that did prefab in Ghana. And at the time, there's only 2 companies that did it. And so that's how I found the architectural firm that I'm going to partner with to build.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when it comes to what's there already, like my walls, when I tell you unity through community, so my neighbor, she's from the States too. Okay. And her partner is Ghanaian. Okay. And so they built their house already. Okay. And so I said, well, you guys already have this. Just help me with my wall. You know? So the people that built my wall it's from the community. So I was able to hire the community to build my wall in Gomoafeta and to build in Salone. Nice. And then they end up building my neighbor's wall because people that watch my videos, not anymore, but if they're interested in the land, I would refer them. And then literally my neighbors are people that either I knew or saw me through YouTube. Got it. And so now they're building the neighbors' walls too. Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Okay, cool. So there's a couple questions here. I want to check in on some of these questions before. And again, if you're just checking in, Leslie and I are talking about her experience buying and building in Ghana. And there's a couple questions about whether or not I'm building, but we'll get to that in a second. So Latonya says, how long did it take you from buying land to building a wall?
Good question. I bought it August 28th. I built my wall in August, a year. Okay. Yeah, 1 complete year. Okay. Because I have the indentures, but so now I'm starting the deed process. So from the indenture, I got the indenture January of 2022, which was this year. And then I built my wall the third time I went back in last month. Yeah.
What is an indenture?
An indenture, think about it as a lease agreement. Okay. So my land is subleased. Stool land. Oh, that's another category. Okay. Ooh, folks, stool land is no joke. That's gonna have to be another day.
And this is from a tribe, right?
So the chief.
Chief, right? Because they sit on stools. I guess that's why it's probably called stool land. Okay. I noticed they have like a lot of stools, like at the Kwame Nkrumah and W.E.B. Du Bois. They like donated stools. The different chiefs did. So I presume that's where that comes from. But anyway, as you were, yeah.
So the chief owned the land. Okay. The developer bought it from the chief. So he has the 99-year agreement. Okay. And then I came in as a subleaser with a 50-year lease and a 25-year renew. What was the question?
Well, it was I was asking as a follow-up question to basically
it was the indenture. Yeah. So it's like a lease agreement. So if you to buy an apartment, you have all the requirements and the expectations in that agreement. Right. So imagine a 75-year lease.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Best way to put it.
Got you. Okay. It's been a while. Jose Cruz, it has been a while. Where you been? Welcome back.
Jose.
Spirit Warrior is asking, project manager was local or an expat?
The project manager that told me to buy land and build was Ghanaian. He was local.
Okay. There you go. Anita Howard, shout out. Hey, by the way, 2 nights ago, I was out somewhere and the Adina Howard song came on. And, immediately I thought of Anita Howard. It always comes up. Every time I see her name, I think of Adina Howard. Anyway, greetings, Joe. Singer? Yeah, from the 90s.
5 days in a year. No, that's Anita Baker.
That's Anita Baker. No, Adina Howard's a song that I'm not going to repeat here.
Oh, it's
but
okay.
it's like it's a yeah. Anyway, she knows because it's her name. Greetings, Joe. Wait, you're building a house in Ghana? I am not building a house in Ghana. I'm building in Sierra Leone. We're talking about Leslie's building process in Ghana, but she is going to interview me separately from this about my process building in Sierra Leone, since that was something that she was looking at originally, but ended up going with Ghana later. There's a question here from, is Miss Allyn Is that it? Miss Allyn Talkin.
Allyn Talkin.
Leslie, you have insured me to get my real estate license, especially your last video about CIPS.
Oh yes.
Yes, it's come through. I'm not gonna say that way. How would you say that last sentence?
Yes, it's come through.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm so interesting enough, Miss Allyn, stay connected because the CEO of GREPA hosts CIP classes in Ghana. I don't know if you're in Ghana, but I want to take those classes in Ghana. Worst come to worst, I'll take them here. So CIPS stands for Certified International Property Specialist.
Okay.
So I'm a realtor through NAR, National Association of Realtors of California. So NAR and GREPA, which stands for Ghana Real Estate Professional Association.
Okay.
They have an affiliation. So in 2016, they signed a bilateral corporation agreement.
Okay.
So the standards that we practice here in real estate, they agreed to practice those same standards in Ghana.
Okay.
So I did a video on that Sunday, just sharing my find. And so, yes, Miss Allyn, come through. Let's do it together.
Nice. That's what's up. Cool. And it was inspired, right? She corrected herself here. Mm-hmm. Inspired. Latonya says, bless your heart.
Latonya.
Oh, here's a good question. Did the wall take a year due to lack of finances?
No, the wall took, that's a good question. So when I came March, left at the beginning of April. Mm-hmm. So that was the first time I bought land. So I go back, work Uber, do what I need to do. And then I plan to come back. And that's when I did the wall. So I guess, yeah, it was finances because I wanted to come earlier, but the Airbnbs are no joke. And I knew it was going to be 3 months. So I was like, you know, let me just save my money. But when I found out about the coconut hut, for you guys that don't know, I lived in a coconut hut when I was in Ghana to save money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I did. So once I found that out, I said, cool, that money can go to the wall and I didn't have to spend that on Airbnb. So yes, it was because of finances, but it didn't take a year. It's just, I came back to Cali, did my thing, saved up some money. And then when I decided to go back, I built the wall.
Got it. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is a good question. So Freddie is going to Ghana for the first time and he hasn't been to West Africa yet. So this is a good question because this is something that I was surprised about when I went for the first time in 2009. So when you say building a wall, what does that exactly mean? You have to build a wall if you build a house. Do you want to speak to that in Ghana? And I'll speak to it in Sierra Leone.
So for me, that's not building quickly. That wall gives me security. So there's no encroachment. Because in Ghana, you can take possession of someone else's land. They're like, well, they got here first, so that's their land. So building a wall is a type of protection. So people won't encroach on your land. So I was like, even though I'm not building now, I can build this wall to protect the land that I paid for.
Yeah. And so that means, that delineates your land. And that works Sierra Leone and Ghana too. People do that when you're buying a house, but also you have a wall as part of your protection. So, you know, Ghana is not as unsafe as other areas, maybe in different parts of West Africa or Africa in general. In Sierra Leone, many people build cement walls. Nigeria, they do it as well. Because we've all had civil wars before where there's been instances where there have been rebel troops and people coming through the cities and, you know, entering people's houses, and you want to build a wall just to protect yourself from the outside elements and the outside forces of people. So in Ghana, people usually build a wall with electrical fencing around the top of it. In Sierra Leone, most people build a wall. And it's a cement wall, by the way, like 10 feet high in Sierra Leone, at least.
10 feet?
In Sierra Leone, yeah, it's all 10 feet. That's the minimum. Yeah, so like certain areas of my land on the inside, it's 15 feet high because the outside is higher than the inside, but it's still 10 feet on the outside. Whoa. Yeah, and even parts of my front wall I had to build up because anyway, it's a whole thing.
That's kind of like you're in jail, kind of.
It's keeping people out. It's keeping people out. It's discouraging. It's discouraging people from entering because, as some of you guys know, part of my wall was a little lower, and I put something to block water. And somebody definitely just like hopped the fence, came inside, took a car battery out of a car and walked right out the front door because I didn't have barbed wire over that part of the fence. It was a whole thing, lesson learned. Wow. So it is something that we do all over West Africa from all the places that I've been and seen. How the walls look are different. They usually call them fences though. So usually they're called fences, but it's not like a white picket fence. It is a cement wall.
And I wanted to do rammed earth. Okay. That's a whole nother story too, guys. It's all on my page, but it didn't work out. So that's how I had to negate to cement. Okay.
Yeah. So Spirit Warrior says, I'm glad that you can buy freehold land in Sierra Leone. So yeah, it's Salone. So in Sierra Leone, you can buy freehold. It's different from in Ghana. But what I think is interesting about Ghana is that Ghana still owns it. Nobody owns that land. Some people can buy freehold in certain areas from what I understand. But even though it's not something that is ideal for us who want to own the land outright, it's better for the country, for themselves to ensure that they always own that land. Nobody else actually can ever own a piece of the land in their country.
So wait, the French own Sierra Leone or something?
No, it was named by the Portuguese. The British are the ones who kind of took over. But in terms of individuals own all that land, right? So like, whereas in Ghana's leasing the land to different people, right? So whether it's a chief or the country is leasing the land to people, so they still own that land. You're leasing it. In Sierra Leone, when you buy it, you own that land. So there's different people who own different chunks of land in Sierra Leone, which is how it is in many other countries as well. But I like what Ghana has done to ensure that they always own the land no matter what, which means that they supersede anything, right? So if they decide at some point that, after a 100-year lease or whatever, they want to take it back, they could.
And that's what that aspect a lot of people don't like, especially coming from the West.
Yeah.
But in my mind, since this is business, I'm like, I just got a 75-year lease that's already paid for. So that's how I'm looking at it. Plus, coming from the West, think about it, folks. You don't pay you can pay off your house. Yeah. Be free and clear. Mortgage, nothing. No mortgage, no nothing. But don't pay your property taxes and see how quick they take your stuff.
Quick.
So who really owns what?
Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Forever Local says, Leslie definitely pushed me to push down some of my doubts. Living in the coconut hut was mind-blowing and leaves very few excuses. Okay.
Ooh, Forever Local. Thank you for supporting me and watching my videos. Because you never know what people like and what they don't like.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to you for doing a coconut hut. I've roughed it in Sierra Leone before. I've never done a coconut hut, though. I'm going to have to go watch that video. We're just getting
a whole series.
Okay, I'm gonna watch the series. We're just getting acclimated with each other's channels. Okay, this all came into play like last week, so we're still getting to know each other today. Adina Howard's laughing at something from her. So yes, Adina Howard, and that's the name of the song. Google it. That's why. Like yeah, that change gonna come. Oh, that was Anita Baker. Is that Anita Baker? Is that the no?
That's Marvin Gaye.
That's Marvin. I don't know.
Don't quote us.
My parents aren't American. We didn't listen to Motown. Yeah. We didn't listen to Motown growing up.
Shame. I think everyone that has a high level of melanin should know about Motown.
I mean, I know Motown now, but my parents didn't listen to it in the house. What do you mean by wall? We just talked about it. So it's usually a fence, but we really build walls. You got that. Spirit Warrior saw a video about CEPS. Okay. King Joseph's here in LA. What's up, Joe? Greetings from Los Angeles. Peace and blessings to you. Peace to you.
Maybe I shouldn't be throwing up signs. What am I thinking?
I don't know. You got real Los Angeles on us just now. Did the LA and the West Side. Okay, so Miss Allyn says, I'm in Japan, but we'll be coming back to Ghana off and on. I've been there before. Name is pronounced Allyn.
Like align your car.
Okay, Ms. Allyn.
I like that better.
Okay, align your car. Okay.
And I actually like that she posted this because that's my plan.
Yeah.
To just take advantage. I don't want to say advantage, but my ancestors paid a price for me, that passport, the States, right? Sure. So I'm going to benefit from both.
100%.
Ooh, I'll fix that.
No, it's
is it gonna?
I don't know if it's gonna stay. It died. The battery died. Oh. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to shout out to everybody watching on Instagram Live. You guys got a chance to see in real time what happens when the battery goes out. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to prop this right here. So those watching on Instagram Live, we're gonna prop it right there, and then
we can't see the questions.
Oh yeah, I can't see the questions.
I have
So we're gonna prop it here.
Yeah. What is that? Thank you guys for hanging.
Yeah.
This is live. This is what you get.
This is, you know, this happens every once in a while with me. You guys know. We just improvise. Here we go. Here we go. So if you're watching live, and now I can actually wave to everyone who's joining. All right, cool. So this died, guys. If you get one of these, make sure you keep the juices going, the battery live, because yeah, it's done.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool, but once the battery's out, it's out.
So the battery keeps it upright?
Yeah. What? Yeah. So it was using technology. Anyway, we here. All right, cool. So so Spirit Warrior says, damn, I didn't think the Civil War was the reason for cement walls. I'm not sure if it is, but I think it's definitely something that people we've all dealt with civil wars and coups. And so that's the one thing we all have in common. We all have walls. So that was actually my assumption. That's an assumption that's not based on fact. So let me just throw that out there. But, you know, Nigeria's had many coups. Ghana has had many coups. Nigeria's had a couple of civil wars. Wow. We had a civil war, at least a civil war. We've had a civil war in Sierra Leone. I don't know if Ghana's ever had a civil war. But because of things like that, I think people just like to protect themselves. Like, it's weird when I was driving through Miracle Mile and people's houses are just there. No fence, no nothing. Just like you can walk right up to their house. Not me.
I didn't know it was a requirement to build the wall. Cause I didn't have plans to build a wall.
Yeah.
Like here, you build a wall where your backyard starts.
Right.
All the front is open.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a different concept that I had to accept.
Yeah, people like to just be open. Just walk right up to the house.
I mean,
I don't know about that here.
That's the way it should be.
No, see where I'm at right now, there's a whole fence around the whole property. Now it's not high, it's not stopping anyone. Somebody could just open the fence and walk in, but at least there's like a delineation, and it's like that's my side. Right. Don't come on my land. All right, cool. Latonya Sanders says, in the future, will you be putting a group trips for investors to view your project in Ghana?
So I will be pitching. So when it comes to groups, no, because to be honest, most investors, they don't like to get involved. They kind of like I'm getting involved because it's like the foundation of the product and I had to sell it to investors. But certain investors, they just want to give the money and then they want to see the money come back. Some of them really don't even care. Like some of the projects that you'll see in Ghana, you'll never see the investor. They're all about money. Now, if they ask me to do it, I will. But it's not part of my plan to put a group together and go because most investors really, they don't care. They just want to see the numbers and will the money come after they give it and when will it and how much, and that's it.
There you go.
My neighbors, they just liked my videos to where they're like, we want to buy land. I was like, you should come look at it first. They're like, no, we're good. And they just bought the land. And then they came like months after.
Neighbors in Los Angeles.
No, these are so my actual neighbors at the beachfront property.
But they saw your videos from elsewhere,
right?
And
then they just bought land. They've never even been to Ghana before.
Nice.
So they just recently went. They were there 2 months before I left. But yeah, certain investors, it's all about money for them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah, here Carl's giving some additional info. I don't think the wall is for the wars. It's to protect your land from encroachment and keep thieves out. There you go. King Joseph said, just checking in for a minute. Hey, got work to do. That's crazy. Sounds like a prison. It's not, though. It's not.
That's what I mean.
You got a fan here.
We're just not used to it.
Mr. Short. Oh, look
Mr.
Look at his name, though.
Okay, short stroke. Is it short because you're short?
Stop it. Scott just gave you a compliment.
Thank you. Well, that was his name. I mean, that's his name. Okay.
Let's move on. So Freddie B says the boundary thing is new. I didn't know that. I've seen that in South Africa and Colombia. Yeah, a lot of people do it. Tilly's to the top here says, hey guys.
Tilly from the top, Queen. Thank you for joining. She is a powerhouse.
Oh, shout out to Freddie B for throwing $10 into here.
Come on with the money.
Y'all kicking some good knowledge. No, it ain't. It's all mine. But if you guys want to support, you can, just like Freddie B, by the way. So there's a lot more people here from Leslie's channel than from my channel. So those of you watching on Leslie's behalf, support, you know, she just told you she's driving Uber to support this and she's building her team.
Thank you for selling.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely help support for sure.
Thank
if you can.
All the Patreons, thank you. All the YouTube members, I appreciate you. And all the one-time donors, I appreciate you too.
Boom. So the question is, hi Leslie, are you in Ghana? She is not.
Nope, I'm currently in LA. I landed in Los Angeles September 29th of this year.
Yeah, so we're both in Los Angeles. in the valley, far north.
This guy is far north.
Very far north right now. I didn't know how far north I was until I started taking Uber trips, and it's incredibly far.
Yeah.
Like Encino's south of me. Just if anybody knows anything about California. Okay, cool. So anyway,
I would have built it out of rough milled wood, but it's okay.
Is you talking about the fence?
There's so many ways, there's a lot of ways to build the wall. Like traditionally there is cement.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people have brought new ideas, but they're coming. And that's why I wanted to do the round earth, which I still have a chance to do the front. I left the front open. Okay. Because I still want the round earth look. So I wasn't able to do the whole wall, but there's other ways, folks. Cement is so horrible for the environment. There's other ways to do things. So thank you so rough milled wood. I'm gonna look into that myself. Thanks, Spirit Warrior.
Yeah, I have no idea about that. No idea, but I guess it makes sense. So Miss Allyn says, oh, I get it. Miss Allyn, like a misalign.
Misalign.
Or is it misalign? Misalign. That's what you're trying to get at. For better aesthetics, can you build an iron fence, maybe electrified, wired, or treated? Business idea or invention? Maybe. I've seen different, like in Ghana, I've seen more types of fences. Like I've definitely not seen just cement. I've seen people, like even their gates are like gates that I can't even explain it without showing you. But basically,
like metal?
The metal one. So I've definitely seen that. I've seen walls that are rocks, like rock formations, as opposed to cement. I think they still use cement to put the rocks together. So I've definitely seen a bunch of different types of them. But most people do use cement. But yeah, also if you want to have an electrified fence and you have, depending on how you build all of that, it's gonna cost a lot more to keep it electrified, right? If it's like a whole big electrified fence, from top to bottom. Or maybe you just keep it on the top and keep it wired on the bottom. I don't know. But I guess you'd have to see what that looks like. I don't know.
What if you forget and go lean and
that could be. Or your pet, you know what I'm saying? That could be it.
Ooh, bye doggy.
Yeah. Okay, shout out to Gordan from Austria.
Big ups. With the headphones. Come on with the headphones. You plugged in.
Let's see. Wall is not a requirement, but without. Okay, here we go. Karl Hill says, wall is not a requirement, but without it, your land might shrink with time, especially if you don't build immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah. So protection from people to try to encroach on your land. So I had this issue. I bought land from my family, which we'll talk about.
Okay.
And the land used to be like, from what I understand, like 4 town lots 80, 90 years ago. Now it's a town lot and 3/4.
Wow.
Right. And so we lost a lot of land, and it's family too. It's like distant cousins, my mom's cousins, but over time that land does shrink. And even if you go to the city, and they even tried to encroach on it more, even after we started building the wall.
What?
Yeah, they tried to encroach on it more, but we handled it though.
That's one regulation.
Yes.
That's one thing that just boils my blood. The lack of regulation and the lack of accountability. I don't get it.
Fair.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So James says, hello guys, we need your prayers from Ghana because groceries are getting crazy high here in the UK. Well, yeah, prayers from LA, I guess.
Shoot, everywhere.
We're in LA, but the groceries are crazy high. I spent $75 5 days ago on fruits and vegetables.
It's worth it.
But that same $75 is $15 in Ghana for fruits and vegetables. So it was tough when it was like, it was like 2 mangoes for $10, where it's like 3 mangoes for $1 in Ghana, And
that's the number one thing I miss is the exchange rate. I mean, I was fruit wise and produce wise, heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven. Did the president not address that on Sunday? The groceries and the exchange and all that?
I think I saw him address it. What did he say though? I don't know what he said.
No, I didn't make it through. I didn't make it through.
So Miss Allyn says, I'm very interested in your project, sis. Waiting for more info about investing, and I plan to buy land there as well. There you go. You got a potential investor right there.
Once I get my deed, folks, it's on and popping. Like everything is already in place. I'm literally just waiting for the deed from the Lands Commission. That's all.
Till it to the top is just reinforcing the fact that a wall is not built for the Civil War. It's built for protection. See, I always get corrected. Stand corrected.
That's why we need you guys here. We are not perfect.
I'm not. Just you can read that for yourself. Oh, you can't read it. You can't.
I can't see. So, folks, I lost my glasses and I've never went back to get more. It's been probably 2 years. So if you see me squint, it's literally I can't see what you typed.
Well, I'll share what he said later. This is not the live for that.
Okay.
So Spirit Warriors in Rancho Cucamonga. So the only reason why I know about Rancho Cucamonga is next Friday. Yeah.
I lived in Fontana, borderline Rancho Cucamonga. Which did you go to high school, Spirit Warrior in Rancho? They were our rivals.
We're having a whole LA thing going on right now.
No, I'm just playing.
All right, so Forever Local says, well, I have a few purposes, but recently it was explained to me as the walls and window bars are like the US version of alarm systems. Makes you feel safe, even if you don't need them. Even if you believe you won't need them. Okay, cool. Encino is south, you in San Fernando, sheesh, Joe. I mean, I'm almost there. I
did see the Encino sign. I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, like I'm up there. Like most people who I know who live in Van Nuys, I'm 15 to 20 minutes north of them. So for context.
And it's like 52 minutes to get from where I live to here.
Wow, 52 minutes. Mm-hmm. But she was on time, folks. Not on that Ghanaman time.
Sir, when I say the time, oh, Lord, help me. I had to humble myself and like really, that's one of the things that I had to change because I was like, wow, it's taking so long, but I was like, Leslie, if you continue to be operating in this energy, you're not gonna get nothing done and no one's gonna do anything for you.
Correct.
So I changed it up.
There you go. We're losing black cards here because of the change gonna come was Sam Cooke, not Marvin Gaye.
Oh yeah, sorry guys.
Our bad. Well, actually, I didn't co-sign that. That was that was all Leslie. I didn't co-sign that. Does anyone know what CESP or CEPS bricks are? I saw someone mention a sustainable option, but I don't remember where I saw it.
From what I saw, it's still cement. I think the C means cement, and they make it look like bricks. So I don't know if there's if it's better for the environment if you're still using cement. Maybe you're not using as much cement because there's an infomercial about that. Did you see the infomercial Forever? That's where I saw it.
And I'm clueless about this. This is something I'm going to be Googling. I'm going to do my Googles after this. I have no idea. But yeah, good to know. We'll see. I mean, maybe we could just do a quick, while we're here in real time, right? CEPS or SP bricks.
Can I see that?
Is it too dark?
Rapid delivery of cheap bricks. How do I get cheap bricks? I don't know what.
Or maybe it is CEPS. It is CEPS bricks.
Where's BCB? He knows all things. Complex.
Event. I don't know. We're gonna need somebody else. Browncoat Blue, you got us?
Composition. If we just knew what the acronym meant.
Yeah, we can look it up. So we'll figure that out. I think you look it up. I think you also generally don't want people looking in at the ground level just for privacy's sake instead of having full iron or some other gap fence. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Yeah, like I like having my own privacy on my own property. So yeah, I actually like having that wall there so people can't see inside. Family will press the limits more than others in my experience. I think you're talking about encroaching on land, and because my family has done that because they feel like it's family. Maali says, Joe, are you in Ghana for December? Yes, the very end of December. Afro Nation, Afrochella, Beyond Return activities. At the end of December, I will be after the Christmas holiday. Prior to that, I'll be in Sierra Leone for about a month and a half. Spirit Warrior says, just lives in Rancho Cucamonga, grew up in Watts in South Central. Okay. Shout out to Watts. The only person I know from Watts is Tyrese. And then I did see that movie South Central when I was in growing up. Sorry guys, my phone is ringing. Everybody knows that I'm on live at this time and they still tend to call me, you know what I'm saying?
But you're a high executive, aren't you?
somewhat. Vice president.
Oh, VP. Okay.
Okay, so Dan Diablo's in the building. What's up, Dan?
Diablo.
I don't know if there was a mass shooting in LA. There was.
Ooh, yikes.
Not good. Yeah, so Spirit Warrior said you're north on the 210, I think. Yep. Okay, let's get back to some of this stuff. I know your project will be legit, sis, because of your thoughtfulness and transparency. You should create a course and get your money. There you go.
Stay tuned, folks, because basically what I just recently changed on my internet. So if people were interested in the land, they could just go to my website and I would be their virtual assistant or I would refer them.
Okay.
So there's a 2-page document I would give them about how to go about getting your indenture.
Okay.
So now that I don't do that anymore, I'm thinking of making it into a book and selling it. Yeah. So
nice.
You're on it. You are on it.
There you go. Awesome. Maali saying hit that like button. Yes.
Hit that like button.
On both. And subscribe. If you're one of my followers and subscribers, subscribe to I Am Leslie Jones. If you're somebody who's watching I Am Leslie Jones,
go to his.
There you go.
Good.
So Browncoat Blue BCB, as you call them.
Oh,
not familiar with researching, so they're going to research it for us and let us know.
You know all.
Miss Allyn says they should recycle some of the plastic to build the walls. All that plastic can make tons of walls. That's true.
That's true.
I've seen people building houses for sure.
There's a guy in Ghana. I think Vanessa Camby interviewed him.
Yeah. Building with plastic. Yeah, recycling materials. Mm-hmm. Frank. Shout out to Frank. I was gonna try to.
Kyereme-we.
Okay, there you go. Building beachfront is costly due to seawater with salt. Well done, both of you. Watching you from Germany.
Germany in the house.
Shout out to Germany.
You know any German?
Sprechen Sie English. I know how to say, do you speak English? That's what that means.
Sprechen Sie.
Yeah. So I was just in Germany early, like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I was in Cologne. I spent a week in Cologne. That was interesting. Good times.
You're so bougie. You like travel the world.
It was for work. It was for work. I wish it was for fun. Ashanti's coming to Ghana this December. Shout out to that video. Okay, cool. I think that'll cause a stir, I'm sure. I don't even know what you're referencing, Dan. Was that the West? Oh. Yeah, you always want to bring it back to cannabis on this live. You know? No, it was not. It was not. I go through dispensaries when I'm consuming cannabis here. In any case, BCB says, I'm not finding anything about the bricks called CEPS or CESP, maybe some other acronym. Yeah, I was having trouble. I was Googling on the other device here and I couldn't figure it out. Phoenix Mars says hello. What's up, Phoenix Mars?
Hi, Phoenix.
And also Makia was on and Mariama were on. Makia, if you're still on, I got the clothes. I got another outfit coming. You guys are going to get a chance to see that. Harry Cotton hooked it up again. So I got an event that I'm going to mid-December in DC. You guys will get a chance to see that. So Makia and her significant other sent that through to me, to my place in New York. So I'll get when I get back there, I'll try it on and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay. Did Leslie speak about the lawyer in Kumasi? Is there something you need to talk about?
No, I didn't speak to him because I was referred to another lawyer from one of the Ghanaian diplomats I've met referred me to a lawyer, and so I decided to go that path.
You know, can we talk about that? Because so you started vlogging your experience.
Yes.
And you ended up getting in touch with a Ghanaian diplomat. How has that been in terms of getting you different resources? It sounds like you said they got you a lawyer too. So what else have they been able to do? I mean, having someone who's in the government that you have personal contact information for, have you seen any other benefits to having that contact?
So to getting like actual results, none at the moment. But what I gained from it is support, because people with influence, basically, there's things I could have done to expedite some stuff. I was like, no, we're not going to do that. So I would say the benefit of, the diplomat, knowing a diplomat now is that I have relationships. So if I need things to get done from this point forward, it can happen swiftly. So I wish I knew these people at the beginning of my process. And I probably avoided a lot of things. But now that I have connections now I know how I have people I can connect with to get things done quicker. Folks, I don't have my glasses, so hold on. He went to the bathroom. So hopefully, Kawaku, I think you're the one that referred me. So thank you to all the ones that referred me to lawyers. I got a list of people. Lovely Africa. Hey, Henry Ross, how you doing? Okay, we have someone that found out about the bricks. How do I work?
Sorry, I'll be right there.
Okay. How do I work this computer? Found it. It's called CSEB, Compressed Stabilized Earth Blocks. Leslie, does your land have natural sea defense, or will that area need defense built? So our community will be getting together and deciding how we're going to go about the sea defense, because we need to build it. So the area where my beachfront property is, it's so old, it's new. So we as a community, we're developing it and bringing everything there. Yes, question.
Nice.
I like that question. So it's the acronym is CSEB.
Okay. Did we figure out what that means yet?
Yeah, it's like so rammed earth, but it's compressed into blocks.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you stranded. But,
I was struggling.
When nature calls, you know. Good. Oh, you've already addressed Henry.
It's been a while. I haven't been live since before I went to Ghana. Yeah, it's been a cool minute. Folks, should I go live more now that I'm back in LA? Let me know.
Judging by the number of people who are on, I think the answer is yes.
I'll go live. Yes. I do need to. I mean, I miss you guys. It's been a while. Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah. Lovely Africa says, I love the afro.
Thank you. I was trying to decide because I knew his hair was natural. I was like, I gotta come with my natural hair.
Yeah, I used to have locks, cut those off.
What kind? Freeform, mini?
They were free. Well, they started as 2-strand twists, and then we were just doing whatever we could. It was just twisting them every 2 weeks. I'll have to show you what that looked like.
I'll be doing that soon. Micro locks, 2-strand twists.
Okay.
I'm over this.
I'm a big supporter of it. Just the hair was thinning. I was getting a little older. I didn't want to look like Stevie, you know.
Oh, we love Stevie.
I do too.
He ain't Ghana.
He's gonna be going at least. I know that. We need the 401 on how to travel the globe like you, boss. Well, I will say this: 16 years experience doing one thing got me to be at a place where I've built relationships and I've learned a lot in the world that I'm in, and that requires me to travel to different conferences around the world.
Nice.
You can't. I forgot you can't. You can't see unless it's up on the screen. Okay, cool. So let me get back to some of my other questions that I had, because I did have some other questions. And where are we at with this? Here we go. I asked you about contractors. That's the last questions. Okay. Do you have any regrets?
Oh my gosh.
In the house buying process so far?
My number one regret is not listening to my land consultant. So folks, please listen to me. I was so emotionally unbalanced. I have been to Africa in over 400 years.
Sure.
The political climate in the U.S. is encourage you to leave, you know.
Sure.
So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm going back to Africa. I'm thinking Africa, we own everything. We run everything.
Okay.
Right? I'm going. I can afford. And my land consultant said, do a survey and a lands commission search before you give your money to anyone. I found these land liaisons. They're from the States, and they said they had their paperwork. I was like, oh, I'm good. I'll just go through them. Yeah. Folks, I didn't do the lands commission search. I didn't do the survey. I just trusted the process. And I ended up, as most of you guys know, physically assaulted, and I'm still waiting on my paperwork for 2 out of the 6 plots. And I'm like, if I did what he's told me to do, I wouldn't even be in this situation. But at the same time, it's like the community that we developed over
based
the time,
on that,
and the relationships I built. I mean, it's just But that is my number one regret, is not listening to my land consultant, because I was too emotionally unbalanced, too excited that I made a move out of order. And that's my number one regret.
So Noir Supreme is saying, why are you ignoring questions from fans? She just mentioned it, and we're not going too deep into it because she doesn't want to talk about it today. So we're not going to talk about it. So that's why I'm ignoring those specific questions. But if you want to know about it, you can go to her channel. She talked about it on her channel. So exactly, that is why we're not talking about it. So if you feel it's very disingenuous, Noir, that is why. I always answer all the questions from everyone if the guests want to talk about those things. All right, cool. Forever Local says, Joe, I remember you coming on the scene with that beard. Oh, thank you. Beard sparkling.
Beard gang.
Yeah. I do like the beard. I do put a lot of stuff.
You have a whole kit?
I do. I have a kit. I have oils and conditioner and shampoo and all of these.
Hey, sometimes all you need is a beard, and then you'll have some ladies, dudes. I don't know if you're into dudes, but you'll have a lady.
No problem with anyone who is, but yes, women only for me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so okay, cool. So do we have any other questions from the group? If not, I'm going to move on to mine. So I asked you what regrets, challenging moments. Do you have any other challenging moments?
I would say the most challenging, well, the physical assault, but after that is me adapting to the culture.
Okay.
Because in my Western mind here, I'm very disciplined, very organized. You schedule it,
sure,
manifest it.
Okay.
Right. So going to Ghana, I'm just like, oh my God, I have no power over nothing. Like, it doesn't matter how disciplined I am.
Sure.
It doesn't matter how well I plan. It didn't matter. And that was, once I accepted that, I stressed out less.
Yeah.
But man, that was hard to learn the culture, accept the culture, and ride with the culture. Things
move at their own speed.
Yeah. So there's things that I have to accept, and there's things that are still unacceptable to me. But that was the challenge, to learn the culture and flow with the culture.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay, cool. What advice would you give anyone planning to build in Ghana?
Number one, don't go there first, please. Go there and look. Okay. Number two, don't give your money. Don't buy land outright. Divide that sucker up into payments, because once they have all your money, they're really not in a rush to give you your paperwork. Another one, attorney from the jump. I think that's the number one thing I regret, is not getting an attorney from the beginning. And don't give your money unless you do a survey, lands commission search. And there's other things you can do too, especially if it's stolen land, zoning.
Okay.
Zone report.
Okay.
There's other terms that I'll actually be doing video on this later once I get the understanding of everything and I can explain it. But there's other things you can do to prevent, delays in getting your deed if you do it prior, because you might not even buy the land after doing all the research.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Oh, and if you are a single woman, right, and you're very hands-on like me, I've learned that it's a man's world. Like, it's a man's world in Ghana. Okay. And so I just accept the fact that from this point on, I will not be hands-on. So I've already have a lawyer in place, and I already have people in place to handle business for me.
Got it.
Yeah.
Every time you have one of those moments, I'm reminded that you're an actress.
I'm extra, huh?
She's a SAG actress, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know.
I'm extra, yeah. I'm dramatic.
Yeah, it reminds me of my cousin. My cousin's an actor as well. So, okay. So, hey, y'all. So glad so many people are interested in land in Africa. My dad is from Ghana and looking to buy land in Abri, or beachfront in Pram or Croco Bites. Abri is a nice place to buy. Yeah, I have a friend who owns a bunch of land up there. So I can, if you want, I can put you in touch with him. He's selling some land, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he bought this land like 25 years ago. And so now he sold it to a bunch of his friends over time. And now some of those people, he's like taking the land back from them because they haven't built on it. So he's bought it back. And now he's selling it to other people. It's kind of an exclusivity kind of situation because they want to like curate what neighbors they have up there. But it's really, really nice, like a really nice giant neighborhood that they're building.
I went to Aburi. It was gorgeous. One of the project manager that told me that he was working on a house like within the mountain. It was awesome.
Dan Diablo says, Leslie, will you be investing any of your own money in this project? Are you relying solely on investors?
It's been all my money from right now. So, but when it actually comes to building the buildings, that's when I'll need the investors. But I'm going as far as I can, from purchasing the land, that was my money, to building the wall, both walls, that was my money as well. So of course I'm going to contribute what I can, and I've actually been doing that already. Cool. But Uber money can only take me so far, folks. They don't.
That's real. Leslie, can you speak to it in your videos, but can you touch on one point, I guess, on doing business as a woman in Ghana?
I kind of said it already. If you're very hands-on, Ghana doesn't favor that if you're a woman and you're very hands-on. So I suggest you get a man to, not a boyfriend or a husband or whatever, but don't do that. People go to Ghana and do that.
They do. They do.
Get someone in place, build relationships. A lawyer, an attorney, that's who I have now to handle your business, so you don't have to interact and give anyone an opportunity to disrespect you.
There you go. So there's a question from Maali. Could you please elaborate on the culture aspect and having no power?
Having no power.
I think we were talking about power over the speed in which things move.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you an example. That's the best thing I can do.
Yep.
So right now, I mean, last year when I was going through my indenture process, I had my land consultant and I had the landowner that I bought it from. The indentures took forever and a day, right? And so I got multiple indentures because when I did the lands commission search and the survey, someone else's name popped up on the lands commission search. Yeah. That's why I didn't get my money the first time. Because if someone gives you saying that they can sell you land, you do a lands commission search and someone else's name pops on it, that's an issue. So that took some time for the lands commission to correct it. So that's kind of gives you an example of how I'm not in power, because I had to wait for the lands commission to fix everything. If I could go to the lands commission and just be like, and fix all the paperwork, I didn't know it was all data entry issues. Right. So I had to wait on that. Right. Because here in the States, there's things already in place to correct certain, data entry issues.
Right.
But when it comes to data entry issues, papers being printed out, I had to get my indentures reprinted like 4 times. The developer was very negligent, wrote down wrong dates. And so I was just like, if everything should be automated, right? So that's because here in the States, some things are just automated.
Right.
We don't have to worry about data entry errors. So that's an example of, the culture aspect and having no power.
Got it. Okay. Okay, this is a good one. Frank says, we called it, Ghana will humble you, whether you're strong or not.
Period.
There it is.
I thought I was strong. I'm like, I didn't know I needed humility to this level. But I am more humble, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm building in Takroradi, but I do have help, as you should. I think we always need a little bit of help.
Please do it.
Here's a good question. It's a rather lengthy one, but Miss Allyn says, do you think there are people there who do things on time and with efficiency? If so, how do you recommend finding them? I'm a single woman and a Cancerian. Is this an astrology thing? I think that's what that means, right? You're Cancer, I guess. Gotta brace myself. Do you have some thoughts? I have some thoughts, but
I mean, we got to go back to old school. Building relationships is the #1 thing to do. Now, if you're willing to go to Ghana 4 times, as many as you need to build this relationship, move there like I did. I was like, well, I'm moving to the community, so, and that's how I built a relationship with the people I do have to where I don't have to stress about certain things anymore. But to say there's a database, I wouldn't say there's a database. It's just, you got to go there and just love on the people and let them love on you. Yeah.
Yeah, I would second that. I think you do need to build a network and find people who are more efficient. Culturally, anywhere you go where it's like a tropical climate, right? This is not exclusive to Ghana or Africa as a continent. Anywhere you go that's tropical, people tend to move slower, right? It's just how it tends to be, right? So, it's just warmer, it's nicer, people are chilling, they're relaxing. You can find people who are a little bit more efficient. One of the fastest ways to doing that is working with diasporans, right? So diasporans, we tend to work on a different kind of speed, or working with people who can put you in touch with those people. So like we've had Ghana Bound on the channel before. We've had Maya King on the channel before. They have relationships with other folks to help expedite the process. So if you're looking for that, those folks are people you can tap into as well. So definitely go back and look at some of those lives and see who they're using and what they're using, and reach out to them if you have any questions.
And to elaborate on the previous question, another cultural difference is here in the States, it's a debt culture. So we're fast.
Yeah.
Because we gotta work.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna be in the streets and we can't eat, right? But in Ghana, owning land is a regular thing.
Right.
You know, it's not something, you know, people here work their whole lives just to own a house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I had to tell myself, Leslie, if you had no debt, if you had no, I don't say worries, but if you weren't forced to work every day because you have to pay Peter and Paul,
right?
How fast would you get paperwork done?
Right. Right. Or if you're getting paid $75 a month to work in that office, how much are you going to really force yourself to get up and put some effort into something?
Hence what the data entry issues. How strategic are you going to be to make sure everything is on point?
And that's a challenge. Okay. I think Dan Diablo saying, even with indenture in hand, you don't really own the land. Yeah, we've already talked about that.
Shoot, what I'm going through right now. My goodness.
Yeah. So Noor is saying there are many successful businesswomen in Ghana, just gotta know how to play the game. Yeah, I think if you like, I know Ghanaians who have businesses, like Ghanaian women who have businesses and who've navigated, but they're also Ghanaian. They're born and raised in the culture, and they speak different languages, and they know the right people to move through strategically. I think if you're coming from somewhere else, it is a little bit more challenging, and it does make more sense to partner with folks and have other people help. My friends who you guys met, Kyereme-we and Masa, they also have found ways to partner with people locally for the stuff that they're doing as well. And I think it's smart. You know, as someone like Masa, who's a lawyer in 2 states in the United States, she's Illinois and Texas, she still also made sure to have locals there that she works with for the stuff that they're doing for, you know, Freetown Chop House and everything else. So, okay, cool. We are now at 1 hour and 12 minutes for this live.
Wow.
I want to ask you one final question, but if there are other questions from the folks, we're going to wrap this up pretty soon because we need to go into our interview that we're going to do. And I also need to eat. I haven't eaten yet. It seems like many people are joining. And so, okay, just really quickly, for those of you who are just joining, we are streaming simultaneously on 2 channels. We're on Leslie's channel. I am Leslie Jones. And then we're on my channel, Authentic African. We're cross-pollinating. So if you are one of my subscribers, make sure you go out and check out Leslie's channel.
If you're one of mine, go check out Authentic African.
There you go. Okay, cool. And, you know, we got some red pill conversation going on in the comments, of course.
Enjoy.
All right, cool. So is it Shireen? I think it's Shireen, right?
Shireen Bonsu.
Yes. Greetings, family. Met Leslie at Mahogany. Oh, so you go. So that's one of my spots. I like that place. You like Mahogany at the ANC Mall?
I'm grateful for any plant-based restaurant.
Yeah, on the chickpea wrap. You reading the chickpea wrap? I love the chickpea wrap.
Shireen,
Yeah,
I remember you. How are you still in Ghana? They went to Ghana during the pandemic, right? And just never went back.
And they never left.
I think the husband went back.
Okay.
But she's been there. That's amazing.
Well, I love the Mahogany at ANC Mall. That was where I would get my lunch all the time when I was working at Jumia, because Jumia is like 5 minutes away from there. So shout out to that. I was gonna say, but next time you go to Ghana, I was gonna tell you about Mahogany Mall, but you already know about it. So okay, cool. Ms. Allyn says, okay, thanks so much. You both are sharing some great information. You're right about the tropical climates and slow people in Okinawa, Japan. Yeah, live longer and move a little bit more slowly.
I want to move slow too. I ain't there yet. But I'm gonna move slow.
You know how everybody here says stop and smell the roses? They already stopped and smelled the roses over there. It's happening all day long, every day. And then we have more people joining. You guys should have joined earlier. So everybody who's joining now, because the numbers are going up now, as you can see. make sure you guys go back and watch the live. It'll be a replay on her channel and on my channel as well. Just go back and watch it if you have any questions that we haven't covered today. I think we can do like a final wrap up if there are no more questions. Oh, really quickly, Shireen said she's still there and heading back to the US next week. Wow. Okay.
Ooh, are you excited about that? You've been gone for a while. I know. I was excited to come back. Bittersweet.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about it. I was going through some different emotions when I was coming back.
You want to talk about it after this live?
We'll talk about it after. This is focused on you, Leslie.
Okay.
So where can people find you online? And then I'll do mine as well.
Okay. You can find me on YouTube is my main playing ground. I am Leslie Jones. But I also have a website, www.vision-reality.com. I will be selling a kente cloth, handmade, authentic kente cloth from the, how do you say this? Bunwire? English is bonwire, but I know I'm saying it totally wrong. But I partnered up with the chairman of Kente Cloth, and I'll be selling authentic handmade kente cloth. So if you're interested, join the email list on my website and you'll get notifications when the online store opens.
Nice. And I am on, it's Authentic African on all platforms. YouTube is Authentic African. Instagram is technically on Authentic_African, but I think if you search in YouTube Authentic African, my page should show up. I am a little shadow banned on Instagram. That's a whole conversation for another time. What? So, you know, you may or may not find me, but Authentic_African, you'll find me there. And also I am going to be restarting the Authentic African e-commerce page as well, because that's how this whole thing started. It was with the e-commerce site, selling products made across the continent of Africa to Americans. And what I'm also opening up is a marketplace for Africans to sell to each other. I have some friends who sell like stuff locally in Sierra Leone and in Ghana, and they don't have a place to house their products online. So I'm going to make that available for them as well. So that is all coming January 2023. Authentic African will be revamped, and you'll be seeing ads for Authentic African at the beginning, at the end of my videos all the time. And we definitely got to talk.
What?
We definitely got to talk.
I'm glad I said that. Then.
Yes, absolutely. Because you reminded me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Kwame says, I hope you're both well. I'm well.
Same to you. I am well.
Yeah.
Even better with this guy on live.
We got a lot to catch up on.
Yes.
We got a lot to catch up on. All right, cool. So, well, thanks everybody for joining. Always appreciate it. This is a big live. A bunch of Leslie's subscribers are on.
We're one. Unity through community. Folks, I'm working on t-shirts.
What do you want the t-shirts to say? What do you want her t-shirts to say?
Oh, I already know what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Hashtag unity through community.
Boom. There it is. Mine are just going to be Authentic African. Merch is coming soon. I've been saying that 2023 is when everything is launching for me. So be prepared for that. All right, cool. Well, thanks again, Leslie, for doing this.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. We'll do more. We definitely have to do more. We'll do them from across the world. It'll be 2 p.m. your time, 9 p.m. my time. But we'll have to do it when I'm in Ghana and you're here. We could do another follow-up. It seems as though people are very engaged this time, and a few people joined, as you can see. So let's definitely do it. Gabrielle's
Unity through
hashtagging it already.
Gabby! Look, gorgeous. Yes, picture. We go way back. She went to school with Vanessa, right?
With Vanessa Camby?
No, Vanessa, my sister.
Oh.
Sorry. Like he's like YouTube.
I'm in the YouTube world. Okay. Sorry.
Yes. Hey girl, thanks for joining.
Nice. King Joseph is smiling. Cool. And Freddie B, this was great. Thanks, Freddie. I'm glad you liked it. We definitely have to catch up. We will overlap a little bit. No, actually, we won't overlap at all when you're in Ghana. So I'll do my best to try to help you out. And Miss Allyn says, thank you for
amazing evening.
You too.
You too, Queen.
And Latonya says, looking forward to seeing your vision grow, Leslie.
Thank you so much, Queen.
Gabrielle loves watching your journey.
Thank you, Queen.
All right, cool. All right, guys. We really are gonna end this thing.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
For chilling with us.
All right, we'll see you all in the next video.